Greetings, travelers. I'm Gav. Welcome to another Last Epoch lore video. I plan to make this video the first of a series deep diving the entire campaign of Last Epoch. I've taken extensive notes during the journey through my campaign on every action we as the traveler take, and documented every dialogue in the game. I'll try to piece together the story as linearly as I can while introducing characters, exploring each zone fully, finding secrets, and other lore tidbits. We'll start off by taking a look at all the lore that I found within Chapter 1 of the campaign, going zone by zone, summarizing our findings. The game's introductory cinematic perfectly sets the stage for the traveler's arrival on the old road. Let's get into it.
In the beginning, there was darkness. Only Eterra, myself, and the void. I was content with nothing. She dreamt of light, of life, of humanity. We disagreed, and yet, in her world, there were gods. Majasa of the desert, Lagon of the sea, Rye of the endless skies, and Hierot of the frozen tundra. But fate stole Eterra away. Without her, there was conflict, then wars. In the end, it was Rye who sought to outshine the sun that would pull the world into his flame. Caught within Rye's gaze were the Keepers, an order sworn to protect Eterra's memory and the power it still holds. They were joined by someone unexpected, a traveler, willing to walk into the flames of war. But why? Was it honor they sought? Power? Redemption? Or was this fate? Perhaps. But no story is quite that simple.
Eterra is the mother goddess, creator of all things on this planet. The world bears the same name, Eterra. She created gods, humans, dragons, and beasts to inhabit her new world of light. We don't fully know Eterra's motivations yet, only that she rebelled against her opposite, Oribus. She wanted something more than just darkness and void, while Oribus was perfectly content. The Epoch is seemingly an artifact that both her and Oribus shared or treasured. Did Eterra take the Epoch for herself when she fled Oribus in the void? Is that why he's seeking revenge of some sort? We also aren't sure where Eterra disappeared to yet. We do know, however, that she was aware of her fate somehow, either through the power of the Epoch or some kind of foresight. We don't fully know her true power or the limit of her abilities yet. In any event, through the knowledge of her fate, she tasked a group of humans to protect the knowledge of her world and her most precious artifact, the Epoch, the last of its kind. This order of humans went on to be named the Keepers. The Old Road. The intro cinematic covers the overarching story of the world of Eterra, but it doesn't cover the full class lore of each playable character. For some reason, these cinematics are now missing. If you're interested in the class lore cinematics for all 5 classes, I have recordings of all of them and a class lore overview video that I'll link down in the description. Our journey as the traveler begins on the Old Road, in what is modern-day Divine Era, -12 BE. I couldn't find an official meaning for BE, but I believe it to mean before Empire or before Emperor, signifying the power shift from the gods in the Divine Era to the immortal Emperor in the Imperial Era. In future chapters, we arrive in the Imperial Era, over 1,000 years after the immortal Emperor rose to power. The year 1005 AG is the Imperial Era that we see, which I believe to mean after gods. This is all just my nerd theory. I'm not 100% on any of this, and I couldn't find a direct source. Only further speculation. But it helped me keep the transfer of power clear in my head, so use it if you'd like. Eyes of Rye and Armored Phoenix rain down on and attack us from the skies as we travel down this road. We come to a fallen messenger that is holding a scroll in their hand. It's a message that was intended for us, a letter from the Keeper's Council.
Traveler, our Heoborian allies informed us that you will attend the peace talks. Raya's war has reached our lands, and we are in need of aid. As keepers, we avoid conflict. We're dedicated to the goddess Eterra's memory. That is, until Raya forced our hand. He wishes to destroy us and steal Eterra's legacy. We can't let that happen. We need Herot's help. Your help.
Some kind of invitation to the peace talks. Raya has brought war to their lands as we have already witnessed, and seeks to further his dominion. The Keepers are requesting our aid to protect Eterra and her legacy from Raya's clutches. There's also a secret area I found in this very first zone. You can get to it in the Bear Cave by attacking the rock wall opposite the Jahith Bear. Once you enter this hidden corridor, kill another Jahith Bear behind that wall. Then, while facing the end of the corridor, attack the left-hand side wall, and another Jahith Bear will be revealed. This final bear drops a pair of boots, called Cursed Veterans Boots. They seem to be some kind of in-game opt-in hard mode. Also, there's what appears to be a cow corpse in this cave, perhaps a callback to the cow level from the Diablo franchise. We already know EHG are major Diablo 2 fans. I'm not sure, but I thought it was pretty cool and definitely worth including. The Burning Forest. We enter the Burning Forest, or at least what forest remains. Raya and his armies have burned and destroyed the majority of it. We immediately walk past a group of people that tried to flee, but before they could, they were consumed by the flames. We fight our way through several ospreys on our way east and cross a bridge. Ospreys are a bird-like people that worship and fight for their god, Raya. I don't yet fully know their history, whether the ospreys were made by Eterra in Raya's image, or how they came to be, but they're definitely eager to serve their sun god. The ospreys are devastating warriors and pillagers in Raya's grand army. We come to a warrior fighting off several of these birdmen and assist in dealing with them. They too are on their way to the peace talks in the Keeper's camp.
Name's Grail. Since we're both headed the same direction, why don't we go together? I wonder, which of us will take down more ospreys? Come, let me watch you fight.
As we make our way through the burning forest and come to the entrance of the Keeper's camp, we're suddenly ambushed by an elemental soldier called a Forge Soldier. They're made up of some combination of lava and armor, some magical abomination of Raya's forces. We quickly dispatch this Forge Soldier and head towards the entrance. On the ground near the entrance to the Keeper's camp are notes from the Osprey's leader, General Haruspex Orion.
The Keepers have proven difficult to track, but my observations revealed the truth. Their camps are neither chosen nor abandoned on a whim. There's a pattern to how they scurry. I instructed my soldiers to investigate the abandoned camps. Invariably, they're near shrines devoted to the eldest of gods. Each one was as empty as the last, save for meager signs of the Keeper's presence.
A general in Raya's grand army, Orion rides atop a white drake by the name of Emberwing. We enter the camp. The Keeper's camp. The camp is filled with refugees and survivors of the Osprey's attacks. Notes within the camp reveal that Herot has offered an alliance with the Keepers. Herot is the god of the north and leads his people, the Heoborians.
Herot's offered protection. More than protection. An alliance. But the truth is, we know little about him, or his people. Why should the Council trust him? Prospect 1. He's one of the gods. Eterra made him just as she made us Keepers, and gave him a role by her side. He's the guardian of his people, and he does his job well. Prospect 2. He cares for his people. Like the goddess herself, he extends his heart to all who need support. He forms alliances, wanting to stand united. Meanwhile, Raya wishes to tear this world asunder. Prospect 3. His people are warriors. Heoborian fighters put ours to shame. We fight because it is necessary, while they relish in it. I'll take on being behind their blade any day. Thus, I propose we accept this alliance. It is not in our nature, but we Keepers have a sacred duty to uphold. Without Herot's help, our efforts might prove fruitless.
Grail has come as an ambassador for his people. He is the champion of Herot.
Sounds like their leader's waiting up at the shrine. Speaking of, I must head there now. Feel free to look around. I'll see you shortly.
In the center of the camp, we find our first waypoint, a giant rune circle that glows with arcane energy. What's powering these, I'm honestly not sure yet. Keeper Lena wishes to speak with us. She is one of 2 keepers that remain in the order, the other being Keeper Balthus. She asks for our help in checking on Balthus within the Keeper Vaults to the north.
I am Lena, one of the Keeper's Council. One of 2. There should be more of us here. They're gone. Balthus and I remain, and he's not here. As such, I must ask for your help. Balthus is busy checking on our sacred artifacts. We're protectors of Eterra's history, and right now, they're in danger. Could you make sure he's safe? There's word of a drake patrolling the skies. Balthus is impulsive. I worry he'll do something stupid.
Grey Owl is being sent to the vault in the mountains to investigate. We enter the gardens beneath the fortress walls. The Fortress Gardens. The gardens are a massive winding maze of cobblestone pathways, flora and fauna as far as the eye can see, statues and stone decor as well, though it's mostly destroyed by Osprix invaders at this point. We fight through Solar soldiers, Osprix, quill hogs, and sentient flowers and vines that lash out at us aggressively. The only thing of note I found in the gardens is that there are 2 Solar guards guarding a door here. The weird thing is, it's not the door that we need to enter to ascend the fortress walls. That's to the northwest. This door is at the western end of the zone, but the door can't be entered or destroyed. Why are these soldiers guarding this door and leaving the actual entrance to the ramparts unattended? It could just be a level design choice and have no significance at all, but I thought it was interesting. We ascend to the top of the fortress wall via the northwest entrance. The fortress walls. The walls are almost entirely overrun by soldiers of Rye's army. We meet a Hiraborian soldier that's gravely wounded. He warns us that the enemy forces have taken over the storerooms and are building something there. We go to check it out and clear out the Solar soldiers. The storerooms. The storerooms are filled with provisions, and the soldier wasn't lying. The halls were completely overrun by forces of Rye, and they were indeed building something. Some bigger, beefier kind of forged soldier, like we met before. It likely would have ended their siege in victory had we not destroyed it. If you found anything else of significance in the storerooms, definitely let me know down in the comments. I wasn't able to dig anything else up. We exit and find the soldier waiting outside for us. We tell the soldier to head back to camp and continue traversing the walls through endless waves of Sun God soldiers. We come to the Keeper's vault and are met with a Keeper guard. She barely survived, having to hide among the fallen to avoid the Osprix. The guard managed to hide and keep safe the symbol of Eterra. This symbol will allow us to pass through the inner door of the vaults. We take the symbol and head inside the vaults. The Keeper's Vaults. The halls of the vaults are filled with Solarum soldiers and siege equipment. They're attempting to breach the inner sanctum of the vaults and reach Balthus and the shards of the Epoch. We come to the inner sanctum doors. The massive golden doors unlock at the presence of the symbol of Eterra that we carry with us. We find Balthus within and a shard of the Epoch suspended in the air beneath a statue of Eterra.
You're here to help! The Osprix, they protect the shard!
Suddenly a hole is breached in the roof of the inner sanctum by Orion's Drake Emberwing. Osprix and Eyes of Rye flood into the room. We defend both the shard and Keeper Balthus and start making our way out of the vaults.
That should hold them. First things first, thank you. The Osprix grow more troublesome by the day. Well, tell you what, let's get out of here first, and then I'll explain more. These peace talks are hardly worth it if you don't know why Orion is after us.
Continuing through the vaults, we find Keeper records on the ground, scattered throughout.
Since the Keepers formed, we've held the same rituals, instructed to keep the Epoch shard separate. Those were Eterra's words. The first Epoch shard is held in a fortress. Ancient Eterran mechanisms hold it in place.
with no one but us knowing how to enter. The second vault is deep inside the Stonefall Mountains, with traps that only the Keepers know how to maneuver. The third shard is always on the move. It uses multiple vaults. Only we possess the knowledge to open them. This is why we never call a single place home.
As we dispatch the remaining Solar and make our way to the exit of the vaults, we find another journal entry written by Keeper Balthus.
Let me ask, for how long must we live like this? No one cared about the shards until recently. Until Raya. For now it's just him. But how much longer until Lagan seeks them out? Majasa. We uphold customs, as Eterra willed, but our goddess is gone. If she knew the state of the world, would she not request us to act? To bring peace back between her children? We cannot keep the old ways. The Council is scared, but nothing will change if we do not change.
Balthus is questioning the will of his goddess, Eterra. We've already learned from Lena that he's impulsive and brash. What changes is he referring to? We exit the vaults, and I found nothing else of significance in there. Let me know if you did. The Northern Road. Ready to learn more of the Epoch and its power, we pass through the ruins of what appears to be an old keeper's camp. We come across a singed letter among the ruins of this camp.
Who do the Keepers adhere to? Our slumbering mother, Eterra? Alone? A goddess they cannot see? They sent no treasure to sea for Lagon, nor works of art south to Majasa. Were they in league with Heorot's savages? No. Their alliance seems to be a recent development. How can they claim a greater connection to Eterra than us? We're the servants of Raya, the inheritor of her domain. It is blasphemy. They will burn.
More fanatical rantings of Orion, questioning the Keeper's fealty to and faith in Eterra. It seems that they've attacked this camp. We set forth on the Northern Road. Balthus needs to rest a minute and ensure the Epoch's safe. When suddenly, from beneath the ridge, none other than General Orion on his winged drake swoops in and abducts Keeper Balthus.
No.
Get him!
A nearby Keeper guard tells us that the Osprix are based out of the Ulatri Highlands. We waypoint back. The Keeper's camp. We tell Lena the bad news about Balthus. She can tell by our description that his abductor was Orion, an Osprix general.
We have to save Balthus. Get him and the Epoch back.
We must travel to the Ulatri Highlands and straight into the Osprix army's camp.
You'll walk into an entire army of Osprix. Stay safe, stay alive, and bring Balthus back.
Ulatri Highlands. As we move through the Highlands, we're ambushed continuously from the sky by groups of Osprix. We make it to the missing Keeper's camp to find it almost entirely in ruin, and a single dying Keeper on the ground. They tell us that the distress signal was a trap set by the Osprix, and that they'll continue to ambush anyone that comes nearby. In this zone to the east is a gravesite labeled Strack. If you'd like to learn more about who Strack was, I'll link the video I made on that subject down in the description. We continue to the northeast and enter the Osprix war camp. We continue onward to save Balthus, through Solar soldiers and Osprix alike. Passing rations, supplies, siege equipment, and encampments. I found nothing of note in the war camp, just your typical armaments of war. The summit. As we enter, we find torn journal pages of Orion.
I can still feel the flame searing across me, stealing my wing and my eye. Yet, I saw it. The flames of prophecy revealed that these rats hid a treasure, one far more powerful than anyone could conceive. Every trinket I've gathered has been a step closer to this moment. The Epoch will be the pinnacle of my collection. When I present this to Raya, this power, he will finally understand how worthy I am, what I have sacrificed. All for him.
Orion faces injuries from the flames of prophecy, hence why they ride on their fierce drake rather than taking flight like the other Osprix. Ever since his vision, he's been ordering his soldiers to encampments and temples of the Keepers, burning everything in their wake. Orion won't stop until he finds the Epoch. We continue onward to find Orion himself waiting for us at the top of the summit. We eventually take him down and his drake, and with his final breath he yells,
"No, but... Raya!"
In Orion's encampment nearby, we find Balthus locked in a cage. The shards of the Epoch are laying next to him. Balthus answers some questions for us regarding what the Epoch is and how its magic works.
The Epoch? Oh, it's Eterra's most sacred artifact, holding great power. The power to travel through time. If Raya were to get his talons on it, he would surely win the war.
We ask if there are multiple epochs.
Just one. Each shard is part of the whole. We keep them separated for protection. This responsibility makes the Keepers what we are.
And finally, how the epoch's magic works.
One cannot use a single shard to manipulate time as they wish. Not even we know the Epoch's full potential. But Eterra tasked us to protect it. So protect it we must. Now, I find a new course of action. Take the Epoch somewhere Raya can't reach. Which, speaking of... Let's head back to camp. I must reach Lena at once.
We locate another journal entry of Orion's.
I must remind myself to find suitable provisions for Emberwing. Prey in this area upset a drake's stomach. Balroth in particular. Could I would simply feed him soldiers that question our bond. I admit, I have a bias for the creature. He's strong and more reliable than half those under my command. Plus, we have both been marred by flames. While my wounds showed me the path to the Epoch, his granted ascendance. Emberwing was raised from his draconic form, reforged in Raya's image. I may not be able to take flight, but with Emberwing's aid, I can once again feel the wind. Oh, how I've missed the limitless blue.
We use the waypoint to teleport back to camp. The Keeper's camp. We give Fitz the girl farmer the bad news about their niece, and the ambush that they fell prey to in the Highlands. We move to the center of the camp and speak with Lena.
He's back, and it's all thanks to you. He's been quiet since he returned. If you could speak with him, I'd be grateful. Then we can begin our talks.
You're back. Now, we must protect the Epoch. Find a way so Raya won't get to them.
We ask how they plan to keep the shards safe.
I have, ideas. Though Lena will disagree. Do you think we've made a mistake? Going through the motions. Keeping the shards hidden, it's all been ritual. I feel as though drastic times are upon us. I apologize. You might become part of something greater. I only have 2 shards, but that's enough. I'll keep them safe. Lena, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to you too. This is what's best for us all.
He suddenly combines the shards and we're sent forward in time to a ruined future.
With the Epoch's power, I'll finally be able to...
The ruined era, in the year 1290 AG, which again I think to mean after gods, so this is nearly 1300 years in the future, to a zone called the Crumbling Ruins, thus concluding Chapter 1. Lena was definitely right, Balthus certainly is impulsive. In a desperate attempt to entirely conceal the Epoch from Raya, Balthus' plan was to take the shards to the future. His plan seems to backfire, but we're not sure how yet, and we're suddenly transported to a ruined future. Here, the Void's corruption can be seen spreading across the entirety of Eterra. What is this future? Where are we? How do we get back? Find out all of this and more in Chapter 2, coming soon. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe if I earned either of them. I hope you learned something today, and farewell, travelers.